39. The use of chronological structure contributes to the development of ideas in the excerpt. So chronological structure. We want a progression of ideas. Why did the author set this up as a chronological passage? The answer to that would tell us. So what is the chronology doing here? It's showing how they started off on a bad weather day. They were both eager to get the first flight, and they sort of adapted their plans a little. And then they started their flight, and it worked. Not huge numbers, but it was the first historical flight with a man on board. So I think the chronology is used to show the buildup to that final climax, the successful flight. Let's see what answer choices match. A, outlining the actions that the Wright brothers took to prepare for and successfully complete the flight, the first flight. That is essentially what the chronology did. A looks like the right answer. It shows a progression of ideas, and it picks up on the development to that big climax, the successful first flight. I think that's going to be the right answer. B, identifying the primary factors that allowed the Wright brothers to overcome obstacles and achieve the first flight. The primary factors to overcome the obstacles, that's not really a main idea that we're developing. That's not why they use the chronology to show how they overcame or the factors that overcame the obstacles. That's not really right. C, showing how the Wright brothers applied lessons learned from their previous flight attempts. No, there's no mention of previous flight attempts in the passage. D, demonstrating how the Wright brothers analyzed the impact of wind velocity to identify the ideal conditions for the first flight. No, they didn't identify the ideal conditions for their first flight. They tried their first flight and made it in less than ideal conditions. It was raining the night before. It was freezing over. It was windy. There's nothing ideal about this first flight. So that does not demonstrate that, D. And remember, all correct chronology answers must identify some progression over time and indicate why that progression is important. What does it do? It helps build to the first successful flight, or what is the progression doing? Why is it chronologically structured?